Well, welcome to week 2. Here's one of the scenes that we get to enjoy during week 2. Thanks for joining me, and hope you enjoy this video. Well, it's been quite a day so far. We got a shuttle ride up to where we had slack pack. I didn't film yesterday because it's very cold, very rainy. But we did hike for 8 miles. Today it was misty, very foggy and misty and very light rain. And day's almost half over. Terrain's been very easy to hike in, very gradual up and down. Been making over 2 miles an hour. The best time that I have been able to record. Here's the trail though. We've got so much rain coming down that we have almost like here. This is a fair bit of rain creating this creek, and here the trail is. It's probably high 40s, low 50s. Wind's picking up, the temperature's dropping. It's supposed to clear late this afternoon and be sunny and cold tomorrow. So wanted to get a little video in for you, and thought it was pretty neat to see this area here, both the water coming down the hill and the trail. Of course, I came from up there, and we're going to be heading up the trail here. So I'll check back later. Well, the rain has let up pretty much. It's still light rain, but I thought I'd show you this part of the trail. Not to complain, because I thought the trail's been in fantastic shape. A lot of smooth earthen. The climbs and descents today were very smooth and gradual. But now I've got this section, you'll see, of rocks winding up the hill. And I'm not really going to try to video while I'm going through those rocks. But it's been a great trail so far, and this is one of the few times today we've had anything very rugged. So I'll be back. Okay, it's right at midday, and this is the summit of Tray Mountain. One of the toughest climbs so far, probably the toughest climb out of the 60-70 miles we've done. And here's the view. Sun's a little bit in the way to give us a great view of the mountains. It's a beautiful clear day, as you can see. Windy, cold, great hiking day. Right on Tray Mountain. So long, hard climb, and now we're gonna head down. Okay, we haven't done this in a while. Got a nice area of smooth path that I thought I could just show you a little bit of hiking experience. It's a beautiful day, as you can see. Wind's blowing from time to time. It just depends on whether you're blocked by the ridge or you're getting it head on. Sometimes you get warm hiking because you're not getting any breeze and the sun's on you. Other times you're in the shade and the wind is whipping at you. And I'll put on a buff around my neck, which really helps to hold in heat. And have not had to use gloves yet. Take my hat on and off. which again releases heat. And I did have one layer on it this morning just to get started. So it's been a beautiful, beautiful day for hiking. Good temperature. Just small modifications to keep everything feeling comfortable. So we're doing great, having a great time, and still very excited about all the days ahead. And a little easier on this path than some of the others to do this. Well, I'm pretty much on my schedule as I had generally outlined it, and not a whole lot more to report. Well, it's just about the end of the day. Long 17-mile hike today. Getting ready to climb down into Dick's Creek Gap for the night. This is our last and one of our few vistas today. We've had an awful lot of trees and not many open scenes like this, but we caught this with the sun in a perfect place, and obviously we must be looking east, and I think that's probably the town of Hiawassee, out there with all the lakes. Hiawassee has a lot of lakes, but I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure because I know the trail goes out west from Hiawassee. Anyway, what a beautiful scene to end the day with. Okay, it's the end of day 8 for me. I've got one, a lot like yesterday, I've got one big climb left, and that'll be in about a half a mile, and I have about a mile and a half climb, and then about half a mile down to our shelter and tent site. So it's been, as you can see, beautiful day, blue sky, had a light breeze, a near perfect hiking day. Did break a sweat a few times, but for the most part, it's been incredibly good weather for hiking. As I tried to show you in the last video, the views are fairly limited. You're always looking through the trees and seeing the outline of the mountains and ridges to one side or the other, and sometimes both sides, like I showed you before. This just is a very typical trail. Obviously it's not as steep as some of them. It's obviously a lot easier to walk on a relatively simple flat trail and try to do this climbing a steep hill. In a minute we're gonna reach a milestone. I'm just a few hundred feet, maybe a few thousand feet from the Georgia-North Carolina border. So I will have completed one state, Georgia, and be moving into North Carolina. And that place is called Bly Gap. And out of Bly Gap, there's going to be a very steep climb to finish the day. But I'm going to come back on and film a little bit at Bly Gap. So let's do that a little bit later. Well, I said I'd come back when we were at Bly Gap, and we're getting ready to walk into Bly Gap. And we come upon this sign, which I had been warned. Mighty Blue told me this was a fairly inconspicuous sign, and you could probably pretty easily walk right by it. But it does mark some kind of accomplishment, knocking out the first state. Georgia will now be behind me, and we'll have completed about 80 miles, 89 miles, or 88.8 miles if we consider the approach trail. And just here's the rest of the trail. We're going to go up here and we'll see the gap, and then we're going to get some water, take a break, and get ready for a big climb up over this knob to get settled in for the night. All right, that's all for now. Okay, this is Bly Gap. It's a tenting area. You'll see we got some smoke coming up from a fire. This is the direction that came from. And gonna be heading up just past this tree. So I take a moment and show you this tree. It shows up on everyone else's YouTube videos, so thought I would take a shot of it. So just a kind of famous spot just because of the crazy knotted tree. And behind the tree, the trail goes up and it goes up and it goes up, and it's gonna be a tough almost 3 miles to finish the day. All right, that's all. This is a fairly typical shelter. It's late morning, last breakfast crowd finishing up, Stormtrooper from Chattanooga here. And so this is where I had breakfast earlier, out and back here. Behind the shelter, I guess it's hard to see, but down this little trail, there's a bunch of tent sites where a number of us tented last night. And most shelters have a privy, and that's right up the hill here. And most shelters will have a source of water, and there's a really good water source here, a nice stream rolling by just down this hill a little bit. So just kind of a typical setup, and that's all for now. So last night or late afternoon, I passed from Georgia into North Carolina, and I commented a number of times in Georgia how nice the treadway, the footpath was. Like here, generally packed dirt, and you could really make some time. But I showed this area because most of today, it just seems coincidental, but most of today we've had much more rocks in the way, irregular rocks like here, which causes you to move a lot slower trying to pick your way through that kind of situation. So fortunately, it's not wet. It's a beautiful day, no rain, but it is much more slower going when the trail is, I'd say right now, 50% covered with rocks. And here's some more of the trail. Maybe I can get this without my shadow in it so you can see how just a little more difficult. Requires you to pick your way through the rocks more. And of course, if they're wet, it's very slow going. But I've had a lot of this morning, and there's just takes your time. So here it is, look ahead. Unlike, we had some of this, but much more I'm finding today than almost anywhere in Georgia.